Hey, what's up my friends? My name is Bill. Welcome back to Cars at Last. I have a great video for you. I can't believe what I'm seeing. This is the mecca of used snowmobiles. I'm here at M&M Lawn and Leisure in Pine Island, Minnesota. I happened to be driving by the other day and I couldn't believe all of the snowmobiles that were for sale. In this video, we're going to take a look at all of the sleds that they have. They have over 200 used snowmobiles right now. Hey, before we get into this interview, make sure to stay tuned to the end of the video because I will add some additional commentary on the overall marketplace. One of the challenges that we've experienced in the last 3 years in many industries is the lack of supply. A lot of that has to do with parts. We've also had economic slowdowns, inflation, and supply chain issues. We've had a difficult winter. There's not a lot of snow. Most people have 0 miles of snowmobiling. I've been riding sleds for over 30 years, and I've often been fascinated with how long snowmobiles last. In this video, we're going to cover why is now possibly a good time to buy a snowmobile. Now might be a great time to look for a snowmobile as long as, number one, you can pay for it, and number two, you can store it throughout the summer months. I want to make sure that I'm clear. I am not affiliated with M&M Lawn and Leisure, nor am I affiliated with Polaris. I just felt like it was a really good opportunity to create a video I've wanted to shoot for a long time. Right now, new snowmobiles are $15,000 to $20,000. They're out of the price range for a lot of people. You could find a great deal on a sled of maybe $7,000 to $9,000, basically half price for a few miles on it. It might be worth checking out. Let's take a look. Hey, I'm here with Curt with M&M Lawn and Leisure in Pine Island, Minnesota. This is the most impressive display of snowmobiles I've ever seen. Hey, Curt, can you tell us a little bit about how did you guys get all of these used sleds?
So every year Polaris does an auction for Polaris dealerships that can go on, and they put a certain amount of machines on there that were either rentals, executive demos where Polaris employees had them, gave them back to Polaris, and then they sell them to us.
Okay.
So that's where these would come from.
Okay. So you guys actually buy these, or do you you bought these for your own inventory?
Yep, we bought them off the Polaris auction.
Okay. So most of these are, like you said, rentals.
I would say most are rentals, depending on mileage. You know, on some of them you'll see that there's a sticker. Some come from the East Coast, some come from Michigan, Wisconsin, all over the place. If you see them with higher mileage, that's what I would say probably be a rental sled. And then we have quite a few with lower miles on it, where that could have been an employee of Polaris that had it, put some miles on it, and then was done with it for that year.
How many used sleds do you think you guys have right now?
I would say we'd have in the neighborhood of around 200 right now.
Wow.
Yep.
I've never seen 200 used snowmobiles
Yep.
at any location.
I haven't seen it for a long time either.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then you also said you have new ones, right? Down this line
we
here.
have quite a bit of the 24 brand new. We have a few of the holdover 23s, which I would say most of them are the S4 4-stroke.
Okay.
From last year that came in late, and then we have some mountain sleds, some the boosted mountain sleds that we got later last year.
Okay.
That held over to this year.
So most of these sleds that are used right now are, like you said, the 650s or the 850s. Is that right?
So they're 99% are going to be 650 Adventures.
Okay.
There's going to be some XC 650s mixed in, along with a few 850s. We have probably a handful of Assaults used from 21 on up, and then we'll have also some odds and end 850s and some VR1s.
Okay.
Yep.
It's a lot of choices.
Yep, but majority is going to be that 650 Adventure.
So if I'm looking for just a good all-around family reliable sled, what would I look for?
I would definitely point you in the direction of that 650 Adventure.
Okay.
Most of them will have the 2-up seat on them with hand warmers. Some of them do have the seat warmer also. But your Adventure, that package is going to get you it's going to get you an upgraded front bumper, the 7S display, so it'll have your trail maps in it. It's going to get you a heated RCA plug pre-installed and your side mirrors on it from the factory.
Okay. So these are 2-stroke sleds, and we talked about 4-stroke sleds. Like, what are you seeing for mileage these days for a 2-stroke versus a 4-stroke?
the 4-stroke for Polaris wise hasn't been. They had 4 strokes in, I want to say, around 2012, 2013. The 4 strokes that we have now in the Matrix chassis came out last year. They came out late. We haven't seen a lot of them, and obviously with the snow this year, people didn't get the amount of time on them that they would in a normal year. So I would guess, you know, on a 4-stroke, you're looking, that's an easy 10,000 miler snowmobile. Your 2 strokes, I mean, they're a little bit higher horsepower, living on the edge, but it's not unheard of to get between that 8,000 and 10,000 miles on those either.
Okay, yeah, it really probably depends a lot on how you ride.
Riding, yeah.
If you're doing 100 miles across the lake every day, you're going to burn it up. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
It you know, the way you treat your stuff, it shows.
Okay.
You know.
What kind of sled do you ride?
I ride a 23 Switchback Assault 850.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you have roughly 200 sleds, and can you tell us about like mileage and like prices, just the range?
You're gonna see, I know off the top of my head on the Adventures, we have model year 22s and model year 23s. They're gonna vary anywhere. I know we have some in under 100 miles all the way up to, I think, around 6,000 miles. So it's gonna vary in price. I would say you're gonna be anywhere from $69.99 up to, I would say, probably around 12,000, depending on the mileage. It's all calculated off of what the miles have, and once it hits a certain mile, then we just put a flat price on it, and that's going to be your $69.99 and $79.99. 22s will be the $69, and the 23s will be the $70.
And in comparison, what does a brand new sled go for?
If you were looking at that same 650, the MSRP on it, I think, is around 18,000. I think we have them right now for brand new 2024s. The couple that we have, I believe you're around 15,000 and some change.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for almost like half price, you can get a reasonably reliable, decent sled.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And the one thing that we do here, we don't just get these from the auction and put them out. They go through our shop. Anything that needs to be addressed is addressed. If the battery, if you need that, we replace the battery, replace carbides. If it's at a certain mile range, we're going to do the exhaust valves, clean those, and chain case oil is changed on them. And if there is anything that needs to be addressed, we do address it.
One of the other things that Curt and I talked about was Polaris does have a recall. Can you tell us a little bit more about the recall?
So Polaris came out with a recall, I believe it was last Thursday. It's a fuel recall. What it is it's replacing the sticker for what suggested fuel is used, and Polaris is now saying that they want you to run like a 91 with 10% ethanol in it.
With ethanol, okay.
With ethanol, and also that would require you to go in and change from your 91 non-ethanol over to the ethanol mode.
Okay.
On the machine. Due to, I believe it's static electricity buildup, the ethanol will take that away from it.
Okay. Yeah, good to know.
So this would be the 2022 model. All the 22s are built the same way. It's going to be your red with your black and white on it. It's going to have the red tunnel. It's still going to have the 7S display, the mirrors, RCA plug. Most of them will come with this seat. On these, what's going to be different from the 2023 is they're all going to come with this 1.25 inch ice ripper track. So what that gives you, it's an 1.25 inch lug height, and then you're going to get the picks pre-installed in the track.
Okay, cool.
So it's an added safety feature. I think it's not quite as good as studs, but it is going to help you corner, stop faster in any kind of icy conditions.
Okay.
So that would be, if you were to snow check a snowmobile, that would be an upgraded track.
Okay.
And all the 22s come with that.
Very cool. And this comes off, is this right?
Yep, that does come off. You have your two latches right here, and that will lift up and then come right off.
Okay, that's pretty easy.
And then put it back on, just latch it down.
Were most of these sleds in like Minnesota or just all over the Midwest?
It's going to be, well, all over. I've seen some stickers from New Hampshire, Michigan, Wisconsin, some in Minnesota, and some out, I believe, Colorado, I believe I've seen.
Wow.
So most of these are going to be from the Polaris Adventure program, and then some mixed in with it will be the executive demo sleds.
All right, Curt. Well, if you're interested in one of these snowmobiles, again, this is not biased. I'm not related to M&M. I'm not endorsing M&M or Polaris, but if you do want to see one of these awesome sleds, come see Curt here at M&M, and he'll set you up. Okay, so why now is a great time to consider buying a snowmobile? We've had a terrible winter, and not only what I'm seeing at the Polaris dealer, but I'm seeing a number of sleds in places like Facebook Marketplace where people are slashing prices. A lot of times at the end of a season, like at the end of fall or at the end of winter, is a great time to purchase a vehicle that's going out of season. So I'm seeing a number of sleds besides Polaris, like Arctic Cats and Skidoos, available with prices being slashed on Facebook and Craigslist. So again, if you have storage availability in the summertime for a snowmobile, could be a great time to purchase one. And for those of you that think that I'm endorsing Polaris, this is our 2007 Arctic Cat F6. I will say on a side note though, we did a family trip a couple of years ago to northern Minnesota, and we did rent the Polaris Adventures with the Matrix chassis. They were fantastic sleds. Again, for pretty much everyone in the north, we've had a very difficult winter, so this could be a really good time to find someone that wants to just unload some used sleds. All right, with that being said, it's great to be back with you. Thanks so much for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that like button, that helps the channel out, and I'll see you in the next video.